Hello everyone. Some people ask me if there's a secret formula to learning English. Some people have some strange habits, For example, some people tell me they keep their words on the fridge or near the fridge so that every time they go and they eat, they can read an English word. And there are other people who have other habits that they have. Writing long lists of words, trying frantically to talk to other people. I think one of the hardest things for everyone is motivation. Yet, motivation is the key for learning. When people come to me and ask if there's any secrets or any kind of idea for learning, then I always say the same thing. The answer lies within motivation. Because without motivation, you can't learn. And it's really important to have people and tools and a mindset and belief system around you which says that not only you can do it, but that you want to do it. How do we create some kind of motivational ambience around us which allows us to be motivated at all times? I think firstly, the time that you study is very, very important. When I wake up in the morning, the voice which says kill, kill, kill remains until I have a hot drink. And then I start to relax a little bit, and it's quite easy after that to get into the way of learning. I find a lot of joy in hearing other people's voices and just remembering that there's people there to support me with my learning progress. With that in mind, and bearing in mind that I'm on social media, every morning when I get up, there's always audio messages waiting for me. These audio messages aren't just because people have decided to send me messages. It's because I operate with a number of language partners. I help them for half an hour. They help me for half an hour in Persian. We meet maybe once a week, but we also exchange audio messages every day. Short messages. And I know that every day I have to hear those messages and to comment. Without motivation, that would be like torture. And some days, if I don't feel very motivated, it is like torture. But just knowing that there's somebody else in my learning process helps me a lot to stay focused and to stay motivated. So having other people in your life who are encouraging you, supporting you, and are expecting you to help them often helps us with our journey of motivation. The other thing which needs to be examined when we look at motivation and learning is our belief system. Now, this is a hard one, because if we have a belief system that tells us, oh, you can't learn because you're only Joseph, so what good would that be to anybody? You have no experience of learning a foreign language. If you have a voice like that going on in your head, then of course you need to change it. And we all have those voices. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching English for many years, and even I get those voices when I try to learn anything. It comes up and it says, why bother? You're not going to remember it anyway. And if that's happening to you, it's time for you to change your belief system. Your attitude should be, I can, not I cannot. Every day when you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes, it's a good practice to say, I can learn English. I can, and I will. It's a really good motivation. It sounds a bit strange, but it does actually work, and I want you to try it. You wake up in the morning and you just say, I can learn. I can learn English. And at that point, you can get out of bed and get on with your day. It's also very important to look at the language that you use to describe your English. I had a student today, and the same as every other week, she told me how bad her English was. Those of you who take classes with me, you may have noticed that if I ask you to read, my next question is always, well, how do you think you read that? Do you think you read it good? Do you think you read it bad? And the reason why I ask that is to try to see what your own belief system is telling you about your learning. And without fail, most people tell me, oh, I read it badly, oh, it's terrible, oh, it's awful. Some people use some really harsh critical words like terrible, awful, horrendous, horrific. And then they go on to say, I can't do this is terrible, it's awful. There's one of two things happening there. Either I attract neurotic students, and I don't know why, because I'm perfectly fine, or it seems to me that there's a lot of people out there with a lack of confidence. But I want to tell you one thing. If you really have a voice, your own voice, which is telling you that something is bad or terrible or awful, then it will be. You will create that scenario. So I would encourage all of you to try to change the way you think about English. Instead of it being this crazy foreign language that's torturing you, make it fun and joyful. Write down 5 positive things, maybe 5 things that you've received about learning. Maybe 5 words, positive words, which describe your learning process. If you're negative about learning English, then English is not the problem. Your negativity is. And if you truly believe that you can't, then it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you won't. So before you start looking at English again today, I would encourage you to write down 5 words which describe your learning process. When you've written them down, go back and look at them a second time and let them tell you what you believe about your learning process. And for every negative word, I want you to replace it with a positive one. So if it says, oh, learning English is horrific, learning English is awful, learning English is painful, my English is bad, or whatever, I want you to replace those words with learning English is wonderful, learning English is easy, learning English is a positive experience. Learning English is not something which should be necessarily done alone. It needs the whole world to share it with you. It's incredibly joyful, and it's one of these things that you should, with great delight, share with other people. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like language partners or people to share English with, I would ask you to reconsider, because it's possibly your loneliness that's making it 10 times worse, because you can't gauge your English unless somebody affirms it for you. It's very easy to say things like, oh, language partner, no, I don't want that. Why would I want that? Or, oh, no, I don't want a teacher. I'm happy alone. And in the world we live in, it doesn't make it easy for us to make friends. And it certainly doesn't make it easy for us to find people to practice with. But the truth is, in these days, we have loads of platforms, not only italki, but other ones like HelloTalk and Tandem, where you can meet people all over the world who are learning your language, and you in turn can help them. So you're helping them with your language, and they're helping you with your English. It's very simple. Usually the problem with people who really say that they don't or can't learn, the people who give up quickly, is related to how well they're able to share with other people. And I should know, because there was a time in my life when I was not so outgoing. I was very shy. I didn't want to talk to anyone. But, when that happens, a little voice inside you tells you that something isn't right. And there's many professions and hobbies where you can do these things, hide behind a book. But unfortunately for you, language learning isn't one of them. Language learning is enjoyed by people all around the world. And it's called the community because you're part of it and you should use it. So just to wrap up for what I'm saying today, I just want to tell you again that if you're learning English and you're finding it difficult, look at your belief system. Look at who's affirming you. And write down those 5 words which describe your English or your learning English process. And if they are very negative words, then you need to think again. Because successful people don't think negatively, they think positively. And to take 5 minutes to reaffirm what your learning experience or what your learning is like or what your English is like can really help. When you have some positive words, when you wake up in the morning, you can repeat those words to make them become more real. Well, I hope that helps, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you and your experiences. But remember, if you're experiencing something negative with learning English, it's because first, you thought that thought before you experienced it. You brought it to life. For example, today can be a bad day because you make it a bad day. But it also could be a good day if you declared that. And it's the same with English learning. Today doesn't have to be a bad day. Today could be a really good day if you believe it. See you.